I guess before we start and talk about this, somebody right before we walked out, somebody just mentioned that Coach Knight had passed away, and just want to send my thoughts and prayers to the Indiana basketball family, but really a lot of people in the state of Indiana. I grew up a kid from Jeffersonville, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, and you know every high school in this state was playing man-to-man defense and running motion offense because of Coach Knight. And like my high school coach played for him at Army. My college coach is an Ohio State grad, so knew him from then. But like a lot of the upbringing, a lot of the things that I think about as a coach. A lot of us coaches all goes back to him. So I know there's a lot of people hurting right now because of that. So just want to know, like everybody at Indiana University, know that the Notre Dame basketball family is thinking about you.
Micah, what were any interactions with Coach Knight anywhere along the line with him?
You know what? The best thing that I ever experienced, and I wasn't a good player, right? So it wasn't like he was going to come recruit me. But the best thing that I experienced is our first year at Butler, we played in the Great Alaska Shootout, and he was at Texas Tech at the time. And our whole staff was Indiana guys. Brad Stevens, myself, Matthew Graves, Terry Johnson are all Indiana kids. Darnell Archie on that bench. And he came out of the locker room and walked by us and stopped and said hi to each and every one of us and knew our names. And that meant the world to us as guys from Indiana. And so that's always going to stick with me is that game, that moment, and that was the first time that I'd ever been a part of playing against one of his teams.
What did you want to see tonight, and what did you see?
All I wanted to see was I wanted to see our guys play hard and compete, just like they do every day in practice, right? Like that's it, right? I wanted the people to come here and watch us and see us compete like that and play like that and know that it's going to be like that every single game, right? We might not come out on top. We might not play pretty basketball, but we are going to fight and compete every single game. And I thought those guys, from 1 through 16, poured their hearts out when they got in that game. Right? I kept saying in the locker rooms, empty your tank and then let the next guy come in and do the same exact thing. And I thought we got that effort from a lot of different guys.
What did you like about what you saw from the freshman guards with Logan, Marcus, and Braden leading scoring for most of the game?
Yeah, those guys are just confident, right? They got a belief in themselves. They fit me, right? Like we thrive on being the underdog. We thrive on being counted out, right? If you look at the rankings, nobody thought Braden was any good. Nobody thought Marcus was any good. Nobody thought Logan was any good. Those guys come out every single day to prove how good they are. They know how much work they put in. I see what they do on a daily basis. They work their asses off because they want to be good. And, they might not lead us in scoring every single night, but they're trying to do things to be great teammates. They're trying to do things to be really good players. And they're competing and playing with effort and doing everything that we ask them to do. So whatever they do, I'm not surprised by it.
Braden's out there, makes his first shot or gets a rebound. Are you kind of like, it's pretty cool. Like that's my son out there.
No, I was.
Or you're like,
Yeah.
get back on defense.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like, the way we started the game, I didn't think we sprinted back on defense. Like, too much kind of celebrating and buddy running after makes instead of sprinting and turning around. I thought that was part of why we started so slow. Expect to score. So you don't have to be celebrating or doing some kind of celebration on the way back, man. Turn around and build a wall on defense. But, I didn't even notice it, like what he was doing out there, right? Like play the right way, right? Whether he was my son or whether he was somebody else's son, You play the right way, you'll get rewarded for that. And I thought he played the right way, right, till the second half. Then I thought he checked out. A lot of us did, right? There's some growth and maturity in that, right? You don't play the score, right? You play the same exact way, no matter who's on the court, right? That's Notre Dame basketball. No matter what the score is, no matter who the opponent is, you play the exact same way for 40 minutes. And I didn't think we did that tonight. I thought we checked out to start the second half, and you could see it.
How can you use that as maybe a teaching tool, like especially early in the second half? I think you had 3 turnovers, 2 turnovers the whole first half, and you had 4 maybe.
We had 4 in the first 4 minutes. Oh yeah. Oh, I knew. I let them know too. There's no moment that's gonna go by, right? I'm not coaching the score. I want us to be at our best at the end of the season. But it doesn't mean we can't be good now. It doesn't mean we can't be one of the best teams in the country at taking care of the basketball. So those are definitely moments. We improved from our secret scrimmage in our turnover category, but Hanover doesn't pressure you the same way that our secret scrimmage opponent did. So, but we took care of the ball better. But even still, I thought there were missed opportunities for us to have kickouts, have extra passes. We tried to drive on the 2-man side instead of attacking a single side, like things that we can clean up and get better at. But sustain and focus is the main thing.
The word is in the secret scrimmage, you also scored 90. Can this team routinely maybe get to 90? Did you expect to get to 90 in both the games that you played?
I just want to play with great pace, and that's not always. It's not always like I said in the press conference a few weeks ago. It doesn't mean we're playing at a breakneck speed, right? We're not. We weren't North Carolina. We weren't getting the ball out of the net and flying down the court. We play at great pace in the half court. Our guys are cutting with speed in the half court, which is opening up some things, which is taking some guys with them. Now it opens up a drive. It opens up a post up. It opens up a 3. We got to play with that pace in the half court. I don't know what the result's going to be at the end of that, but if you play at that pace for 40 minutes, good things are going to happen, right? We might not always make shots. We only made 10 threes, but we got to play at that pace. But it takes a lot of effort to play at that pace, and it takes a lot of effort when I'm screaming at you on the other end playing defense too, right? So we need some dudes that are in shape. We need some dudes that can sustain playing that way for a long time. We need a lot of dudes that can play.
Regardless of the score, how well did you feel like your team executed the defensive system, and what were some of the points of improvement on that end?
There were some things early I thought, like things that, most disappointing things that we walked through that we didn't pick up. And they ran it, I want to say 4 times in the first half, and we didn't cover it the right way. There's no excuse for that. Right? We got to get better in those things. I thought, the things that they did the most, I thought we guarded fairly well. There's some execution things. I thought, with our bigs, which we talked about at halftime, they didn't get a chance to really do it in the second half. So I don't know if we can build off that or not. But, as a young team, and it's still so new, right? We're still building our defensive system. We got to get good at our defensive system. Our defensive system can guard actions, and we know how to guard actions, but then it's about doing it in real time. So the more games we play, the better we'll get. But there's no excuse for making errors and things that we've walked through and covered. Right, that's where we really got to get better as a group.
Any other questions for Coach?
Coach, what do you think Niagara coming in, opening game, what's your pitch to students to get them in, get them early, and have them be a part of November basketball here in South Bend?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't get behind this group, I don't know who you can get behind, right? These dudes, like I said, we got good kids. We got really good kids, right? Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We got really good kids. We got kids that committed to Notre Dame when a lot of other people bailed on Notre Dame, man. Right? There were a lot of people that had an opportunity to stick around here. A lot of people we recruited had an opportunity to come here and be a part of this, and they said no to it because they didn't believe in what we were doing. right? But these kids did. They did. They believe in Notre Dame. They love this place. And they compete as hard as possible with that Notre Dame on their chest, man. Like, if you can't get behind that, I don't know what you can get behind, man. I don't know what you can get behind, man. I came here because this place, there's a purity to this place, right? I see people show up at a lot of places and the coaches are doing bad stuff, man. The players are doing bad stuff and they show up and celebrate that. Like, if you can't get behind this group right here, like, then you know, you're not like us then. You're not like us, man. These are great kids. And you can support these kids and you can be a part of this trajectory, right? Like, show up. If you don't show up, it means you're really busy or you believe that we're going to be 15th in the ACC. I don't prepare like we're 15th in the ACC. Not at all. I prepare like we're going to the tournament. I prepare like we're going to the national championship game. And that's how those guys give up their hearts every single day while still going to class, while still doing everything to be really good basketball players. But they're fighting for Notre Dame, man. Like, show up and support them in that same exact way. Just give us one chance. Just give us one chance. If you don't like us, don't come back. Don't come back. But if you do like us, you'll be like, man, I was here from the start when this thing takes off, because it's taking off. It's taking off, and it's taking off in a hurry.